and looked a terrific young prospect, and then spent the next, a total of 18 Grand Slam tournaments, never getting past the quarterfinals and only getting to the quarterfinals twice. I mean, it was such a contradiction from what he was doing on the rest of the tour. And here we go, first set 6-1 to Stan Wawrinka, and you thought, that's it.
Yeah.
But not a bit of it. And that made this victory very special for Sasha, because it proved he was mentally strong, could put that behind him and come back and play his best tennis. And it was too good for the Swiss.
I think that first set is, it tells a really telling story. Well, I guess not so much the first set, but the way he reacted thereafter, because he had not dropped a set the entire tournament. He then gets to the quarterfinal, a stage of a Grand Slam event he's never been beyond, and then bang, in the blink of an eye, he's lost the first set.
And he's way out of rhythm.
6-1.
Yeah.
And not only that, he's playing against a 3-time Grand Slam, a major winner himself. And this is the beauty of individual sports, of tennis. Here we are on the biggest stage in tennis, and you have to problem solve. So, Sasha, what are you going to do about this?
Yes.
How are you going to get to your first semi-final? How are you going to change this around? And he did it, and it was a wonderful victory. And for the first time in his life, he's through to a semi-final of one of the majors. It's a big moment.
It is a big moment. What happened to Stan? He didn't seem to be the same player he was a couple of days ago when he was just awesome against Medvedev.
Yeah, well, he's not in the first flush of youth anymore, and he,
That's a nice way of putting it, Richard.
and he's had some tough matches, which he hasn't had recently, so there was a bit of a reaction. But really, you've got to hand it to Zverev. He started serving out of his tree and hitting the ball so cleanly and so hard, like he has been through the tournament so far. And Wawrinka was just swept away.
Oh, it was absolutely lovely. And at the end, Sam, they asked him about his father, who is his coach. And it was a really emotional, lovely moment in the in-court interview, which actually ended with his father having a little bit of a tear.
He's like a normal coach that doesn't like his player too much, to be honest. We spend a lot of hours on the court, we spend a lot of hours on site, and then I do not see him until the next day. This is how it usually works, but I don't know. It's been great. There's a lot of opinions that I should get a new coach. There's a lot of opinions that, I should change it up, but every time that I'm working alone with my dad, we prove that we can win big tournaments, that we can kind of go to the further stages of big tournaments, and he's made me the tennis player that I am. So there's, in my opinion, for me, there's absolutely no reason to change. If he tells me that he's tired, I will understand it as well, and we will get some help. But he will be part of my team, I think, for a very long time.
Yeah, I thought that was beautiful, and there was a little tear.
Well, his entire post-match interview, I thought, was brilliant. It was very charming. He was winning over, everybody inside a Rod Laver Arena and probably around the world again. We were reminded by John McEnroe that Zverev has committed to paying $10,000 per victory here at the Australian Open to the bushfire appeal.
They asked him whether he was going to honour it.
Yeah, they asked him if he was going to honour it, which he said yes. And he also said before the tournament he was going to donate all of his winnings if he wins the tournament to the bushfire appeal. That totals over $4 million. It's quite extraordinary. I was watching the interview and I was thinking, we've gone through such an extraordinary era of three of the greatest players of all time on the men's side, but make no mistake, I'm sure the next phase is going to be just as brilliant. I mean, we've got Zverev and Tsitsipas. We've got Medvedev, Kyrgios, if he ever hits his straps. They're all different, but they're all very compelling in their own right.
They are indeed. This is AO Radio's Twilight Show. AO Radio's Twilight Show with you this evening. Richard Evans, Dr. Sam Duncan and Bridget Duclos. And we've just been talking about coaching, and I'm interested to ask you both, how important is your coach? Now, we know Nick Kyrgios doesn't have a coach, which is fascinating in itself. Alexander Zverev has his father. We've talked about all these new, Darren Cowell getting Simona Halep back to where she should be. How important is that relationship, Richard?
Relationships between coaches and players are vital. I mean, if it doesn't work, if there's something wrong in the necessary harmony that there has to be, it's a disaster. I've just seen a new book that Rod Laver's produced about all his great contemporaries. And of course, they had Harry Hopman when they were playing Davis Cup. But basically, when they were on the road, you know, Emma used to go to Fred Stolley of an evening over a beer and say, mate, you know, my backhand's not, you know, so good. Have you noticed anything wrong with it? And they used to help each other out because they were Aussie mates. But now, you know, since Bjorn Borg came on the tour with Leonard Bergelin, he was the first travelling coach. It's now, I mean, everybody's got a coach. If you rank 200 in the world, you've got a coach, and it costs a fortune. So it's changed the whole dynamic. But getting the right partnership is totally vital to any player's success.
And what does that mean for someone like a Nick Kyrgios who doesn't have a coach? You wonder what he could be if he could find the right combination?
Well, we wonder what he could be, full stop, because, I mean, he said himself after losses to Rafael Nadal, for example, at Wimbledon last year, that he doesn't necessarily train as hard as Nadal. He doesn't go to the gym as much. He doesn't practice as much. And perhaps a coach would help with that, because sometimes a coach is there to help problem solve or to work on things that are letting you down and to devise tactics. But other times, you know, they act as a mentor or somebody to help motivate you and somebody to help balance your life so that you are happy. You often find happy people also excel, you know, in their profession, this being tennis. So I would love to see him get a coach, Nick Kyrgios, for all the plaudits of the way in which he conducted himself over the Australian Summer this year. For me, if he's going to be fair dinkum and get the most out of himself on the court, I think he needs to get a coach to help. You know, the best players in the world have one. Why doesn't he?
Well, if Roger Federer needs a coach, what coaching partnership would you put down as one of the best you've seen, Richard, over the years?
Well, just to pick up on what the doctors said, you have to have respect.
Yeah.
If there's no respect, then forget it. The one that fascinates me is Stefan Edberg and Tony Pickard. Tony Pickard was a medium to bad Davis Cup player who always strutted around the tour as if he'd just won Wimbledon. So he was cocky, to put it nicely. And he found this 18-year-old Stefan Edberg who, for some reason, the chemistry worked. I mean, Tony Pickard was 20 years older than Stefan. And it worked for some reason that you can't really put a finger on. And this trust developed between the two of them. And the thing that Tony did for Stefan Edberg was get his shoulders back, get his chin up, and walk like a champion. Because Stefan came on the tour like with the rolling Swedish gait and very shy, and Tony said, "Look like a champion.
Yeah.
Go into the net, and when you miss your first serve, do a little skip and go back to the baseline and show them that you don't care."
Yeah.
And this whole psychology completely transformed this young man from a shy Swede into a fantastic-looking champion, because he was a good-looking boy.
Yes.
But
I have a theory that the best coaches aren't necessarily or weren't the best players. In football, I know that works here in AFL rules. Would you agree?
Oh, well, they often say that here in Australia, particularly with Australian football, because the best coaches, I guess the best players, if you like, were too demanding of their players. They couldn't understand that their players can't necessarily do what they did because they were geniuses, and putting up with mediocrity or anything less than their output frustrates them. And I think Richard's right. I mean, sometimes it's this dynamic between player and coach that's most important. I mean, there's two things at play. Who's the best coach? And then there's who's the best coach for you. Who's the best fit with you? Who's going to drive you, motivate you, help you? And they're not always the same thing. You know, it's the same in any job, in any workplace.
Finding that right mix.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is AO Radio's Twilight Show. AO Radio's Twilight Show with Richard Evans, Bridget Duclos and Dr. Sam Duncan. And tonight, great anticipation for this match. Rafa Nadal versus the Austrian, the fifth seed, Dominic Thiem. This is going to be very exciting. They've played a lot, these two.
They have. They've played. The score is a little lopsided. It is 9-4 to Rafa Nadal. They've only played on clay except for once at the US Open 2018, and that was a real battle, went 5 sets. I think we're going to see a elongated battle tonight. I think Rafa's playing very, very well, should win. But Dominic Thiem, as he's proved at the French Open, getting to the final, really emerging as a big player on the tour. He's very experienced now. He's a cool, calm customer. He won't be daunted by anything out there, and I think it's going to be a big battle that Rafa is really going to have to work hard to win.
Yeah, Thiem hasn't been able to beat him at a Grand Slam. I think they've played 6 times at Grand Slams.
This will be number 6, so that's a concern for him, no doubt about that. Mind you, as Richard said, only on one of those occasions was it a hard court match. It was at the US Open, a match that almost went 5 hours, can you believe, right down to the 5th set tiebreak. But Dominic Thiem will be confident enough, A, because of that, but B, he had a wonderful 2019, and I think he's a little bit more confident on hard court now. I mean, he won Indian Wells, he won 3 hard court tournaments last year. He's thereabouts. He's had a couple of cracks at Nadal, and I think he'll be relishing the opportunity. But of course, he's coming up against one of the greats of all time that, like the great that won yesterday in miraculous circumstances, doesn't seem to know how to lose.
That's right. Would Rafa be a little worried about him just because he knows his game fairly well and he has beaten him, obviously?
Well, he certainly knows that he's got to play at the top of his game. He can't play, a medium match. He's got to be at his best, and he is not playing on his best surface. As we've said, practically all their matches have been on clay, which is to Rafa's advantage, even though Thiem is also a clay court player. And it not being on clay gives just a little edge to Thiem, I think.
If Nadal wins, he will remain number 1 in the world on Monday when the rankings come out.
Well, and justifiably and deservedly so. It will be an interesting match too, in that Nadal, who we know is supremely fit and we know can go all day long and all night long. But it was a tough match nevertheless against Kyrgios. Thiem's round 4 match was much easier. I mean, Nadal was out there for over 3 hours. I think it was over 3.5 hours and forced to a tiebreak in 2 of the 4 sets. So he'll be desperate to win. He's won 1 Australian Open. You know, he'd love to win more. He's won 12 French. He's won multiple
French mensch.
But just the 1 here. So he wants to get through and go for a second quite naturally.
Thiem's going to have his girlfriend in these box, you would think. She won in the doubles today, goes into the final. That's Kristina Mladenovic and her partner Babosh. They won to get into the women's final. So that relationship's been going well for a while, Richard. I love talking about relationships in tennis.
They seem to be a good pair, and they've been together for a bit. And Kiki's very popular and glamorous on the tour, and a top doubles player.
And it's part of the game too. Do you know, when I'm writing for any of the publications I do, they love writing about tennis, or they love articles about tennis, because they say to me, the people that follow tennis rabidly love it, and those that don't recognise tennis players as celebrities.
Yes.
You know, a lot of them are down now to just one name, Serena or Rafa or Roger or Novak. I mean, people are intrigued by them both on the court and off it.
Well, compared to other sports, would you say they are bigger celebrities than, say, cricketers? Or golfers?
Yes.
That they are, because of the global international appeal of tennis, definitely.
Only soccer players can match them for fame. The Premiership's on in every pub and cafe in the world. So they're number 1. But after that, the top tennis players, as you said, you just say Rafa, you just say Roger, you just say Serena. And the average person in the street may not know much about them, but they've heard of them.
Yeah, that's really is the way you tell when you get to one name. It means you've totally made it.
You could show a photo of any of them to anyone from any corner of the globe, and 90%, if not more, people would be able to identify exactly who that is. It's quite extraordinary.
Oh, I'm very excited about tonight's match, and it is hotting up in Melbourne. We are going for, I think, 37. It's going to be tomorrow, then up to 41 on Friday. So real Australian Open conditions are just about to hit, which will make quite a big difference, I would imagine, too, especially for the older players. I'm talking about Roger. So hopefully,
good luck.
Hopefully he'll be in an ice bath as we speak. Richard Evans, Sam Duncan, thank you very much for joining me on the Twilight Show tonight. Good luck to everybody for tonight, and really looking forward to this match. This has been AO Radio's Twilight Show.
live around the grounds on 99.7 FM. Coming to you via the internet at ausopen.com. And in the palm of your hand with the official Australian Open smartphone app. Here's all the action from centre court.
Another big night coming your way here at Australian Open 2020. There are 5 male players remaining in the singles draw. And after tonight, we'll have our semi-final lineup sorted. We've got Djokovic and Federer coming up in a blockbuster tomorrow night. But who will be facing Sasha Zverev in the Friday night semi-final? We'll find out as Rafael Nadal takes on Dominic Thiem. This is a meeting that has a lot of twists and turns to it. The majority of their meetings, in fact, all of them bar one, have been on clay. Nadal leads the head-to-head 9-4. The one time they've played on a hard court was at the US Open. It was a 5-set thriller going all the way to the final set tiebreak. Nadal eventually prevailing. But has Thiem got the belief and the confidence to get it done on this particular court, on this particular night? Another great day in Melbourne, another great evening coming your way right here on AO Radio, live around the world. And what a picture it is. Rod Laver Arena filling up quite nicely. The players not too far away from arriving out on court. And we'll have another big night for you coming up to finish off the quarterfinals. I'm Peter Mercado. Great to be alongside Jill Krabus for this one. And hello, Jill.
Hello, Peter. How are you?
Have you had a good day?
I have had a good day. Yes, a very nice day. It was a little warmer today, but I enjoyed that there was, when you walked outside, that nice sunshine on your body felt so good. Yeah, so it's been a really good day. You?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Been spending the day hanging out in the commentary box, really. Talking about all things Tim Tams and cardboard cutouts. Anyway, we'll move on from all that
Tim Tams are here, yes.
You can't have them, though.
Okay. You're not going to share?
Oh, I'm happy to share with you, but you won't take them. And obviously, listener sending a package of them as well to us,
so
which is
nice.
lovely. I'm just showing everyone. I'm very chuffed
That's
by
amazing.
that. Very happy about that. Anyway, let's talk about tonight because Nadal and Thiem are about to arrive out on court. It is amazing. 13 times they've played. 12 out of the 13 times they've met have been on a clay court. It is bizarre. But the one time, as I mentioned, the US Open in 2018, Nadal getting the win there. You're predicting a Nadal win tonight?
I can't because Thiem is my pick to win the tournament.
Okay.
So I can't predict a Nadal win tonight, but I'm so looking forward to this match because I remember that US Open final the US Open where they played in the quarterfinal, that hard court match. That was one of the most incredible matches that I've had the pleasure of watching. That was just unbelievable. I've never seen two guys hit the ball so hard in my life. It was just incredible to watch. And that, like you said, that was one time they played on hard. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here because that one went to 5, like you mentioned.
Yep, yeah. But the winner to play Sasha Zverev, boy, he was impressive today. After that first serve against Stan Wawrinka, I think this is the Sasha Zverev that a lot of people were hoping for. And I think he silenced a few of the doubters with that win tonight.
And I actually just went to his press conference and listened in on what he had to say. He spoke so well. And they asked him, one journalist asked him in particular, this is, how does it feel? First times in the semifinals, this is what you've been waiting for. And he was super honest about, how he felt. He's like, I have put those expectations on my shoulders over and over again. I have thought it made the Grand Slams more of a big deal and put so much focus on it that it actually froze me and made me more nervous. And so he was super honest about that. And he basically came out and said, I was playing horrible. He felt like he was playing horrible coming into this tournament. And so he sort of didn't expect to do very well. And so he sort of let that go a little bit. And now look at how he's performing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it certainly is. Alicia Molik, one of the VIPs, I'm just seeing on my monitor here. It is interesting because I'm just watching Dominic Thiem actually at the match call area. He's looking at the bank of monitors that are in front of him of all the other matches and scores, and he was actually watching an image of him on the TV, watching an image of him, watching an image of him.
I think the players like actually watching replays of their other matches.
It's not their other matches. Points. No, it's the shot.
Oh,
the shot was him watching the TV screen.
Of him watching the TV,
watching the TV screen. I know that's a bit complicated. We're waiting for Rafa, of course. Rafa is holding us up as per usual. He'll eventually making his way out, but Thiem is there at the required time. Actually, Stan Wawrinka walking past Thiem, and a little pat on the shoulder from Thiem to Stan as he leaves after his loss in 4 sets today. But he's standing right outside the door to the men's locker room, so
he's going to be knocking on the door soon.
Well, I'd be poking my head in and go, Rafa, get your act together, mate. Stop holding us up. Anyway, he always does things in his own time. messages. Let's have plenty of them tonight as we go through this one. It could be a long one, as Jill said.
I do feel like it could be long. Well, we want this one to be long, right?
We do.
Awesome.
We do. I don't have to do the doubles after it. So go as long as you like, guys. ozopen.com/AO Radio and fill out the Ask the Booth form. Or email us aoradio@tennis.com.au. aoradio@tennis.com.au. And remember, include where you are listening to us from and your name. As Dominic Thiem, I'm still looking at the monitor backstage and he's still there waiting. Wayne McEwen, the tournament referee, is just going in and saying, housekeeping, come on, Rafa, get on with it.
Well, he has, what, 15 minutes before he needs to vote? So it's already been 5 minutes. Oh, there he is. We see him now.
Finally, he's just
on his way,
walking his way through, and he'll talk to Wayne, and Wayne will say, where have you been? Say, well, you know how I operate, and move on from there. Looks at his phone, gets the timing right, and the walk-on will commence very, very soon. Seed 1 taking on Seed 5. What I am interested in is, obviously, there's a lot of Rafael Nadal fans and some Dominic Thiem fans. I want to know, is anyone listening in Austria to our broadcast this evening? Come on, Austrian fans.
What time? It would be pretty early in Austria. What time would it be in Austria right
yeah,
now?
it would be in the morning. Yep. About...
It would be... Oh, no, it would be 9:30 in the morning. Is that right?
5:30 in the morning, shouldn't it be? Isn't it 11
well,
hours?
It's 8:30 in the morning in London. And aren't they an hour later than that?
Let me have a look at my world clock here. Yeah, 9 in the morning. Sorry about that. Just don't know. I don't know my time zones. You're better at that. You travel more than I do.
No, I just have it on my app. I just have it on my weather app.
9:36 a.m. So if you are listening to us in Austria, make sure you write in. We want to hear from you, wherever you may be. And Thiem fans, Nadal fans, get in touch with us. Plenty to talk about tonight and through the remaining 4 days after this of Australian Open 2020. So the long walk, orally taught, will be our chair umpire for the match. He waits patiently for them. It's a long walk down there. We only do part of the walk to get to our commentary box. But it is Thiem first, and the countdown is on. They make their way to the top of the stairs, where their names are listed. Rafael Nadal versus Dominic Thiem. And let's have a listen to the roar that Dominic Thiem is going to get. He arches down the stairs. I'll stand by, because here comes the roar for Rafael Nadal. Very interesting that he walks out to a song called Young Blood. But anyway, it is what it is. And Rafa will make his way out onto court. The clock is at the 1 minute, so he's got a little bit of time to get himself sorted out. Weather-wise tonight, looking good in Melbourne. 31 Celsius it got up to. Guess what, Jill? It's going to be 39 Celsius tomorrow and 41 on Friday.
I know. It changes the conditions completely, actually, for the next couple days, because this whole entire tournament so far has been pretty cool conditions. So the player's going to have to adjust when it's a lot hotter.
But being 31 now, that's who's that going to help here?
I think it could help slightly, Thiem, just because he goes through the ball a little bit more. Rafa tends to hit with a little bit more higher spin. It goes higher, a little bit higher over the net, and it bounces higher. But Thiem actually can, because it's hotter, the ball's going to come off the bounce a lot faster. It's going to go through the air faster. And Thiem can sometimes unwind and just flatten that ball out and can just really skid through the court a little bit more. So maybe a slight advantage to Thiem, in my opinion.
5, 4, 3, 2. Come on, Rafa. Out he goes. Already taught chair umpire. We'll give the instruction.
Hello. Okay, guys, so we're playing the same condition as for the previous match. After the toss, a picture with the kid on that side. Dominic?
ANZ for Dominic.
Yvonne, sir?
Rafa will
Take
serve
the picture
first.
with him, please.
They'll stay at the same sides. Quick picture, of course. They know this drill really well. Both with the headbands, different sponsors, of course, and that will be a Oh, a bit of a shake of hands too. Well done. Thank you, Rafa. He sprints to the baseline. And we're not too far away from getting this one underway. Good atmosphere into the crowd getting in nice and early. A 7:30 start for us here, so half an hour later than what we've had for the past days of the tournament. Well, we want your messages coming in as we prepare for this one. What have we got, Jill, already? Let's get into some early ones.
Yeah, we have Marshall Allen, who said, let's enjoy a good match with great announcers from Amarillo, Texas.
Okay, well, we'll get some and then we'll get into it.
We have Ilsa from Vienna.
Yay!
I know, but she says, hi, I'm a huge Rafa fan and probably the only Austrian cheering for Rafa.
Oh.
Enjoying your brilliant coverage on my home office day. Rafa all the way.
Well, you know we're going to take that as a win. We had someone from Austria writing in. That's
I
if
know.
you are
Well, there's
listening.
another.
Oh,
well,
here we go.
Florian, also greetings from Vienna. Yes, I am listening, mates. It's going to be a fantastic match.
Great. If you are listening in Austria in particular, or in Spain even too, or if you're just a Rafa or Dominic fan, we want to hear from you tonight, and there's going to be a great atmosphere inside this venue.
I didn't ask you what your opinion was of this match, who you thought was going to come through.
I think, well, obviously I think we'll get a fair indication from the early stages of this one. You know, it's interesting, the build-up for Dominic Thiem, back-to-back Roland Garros finals, takes on Nadal. He's only taken a set off him in those finals, and that was the one last year, and thought, well, he's getting closer, I wonder what the hardcourt dynamic is like here. How is it going to work? I mean, you look at the time on court, 10 hours and 23 minutes. The biggest push for Thiem was that match against Alex Bolt, where he was pushed all the way, went 4 sets with Taylor Fritz, but comfortable against Monfils. And the big Kyrgios match for Nadal, he did get himself up for that, and he does get himself up for those bigger matches. This, I think, he puts in the big match category because he knows how dangerous Thiem can be, and there's every likelihood that, you know, if the draw goes a particular way, that they may be playing in the final at Roland Garros in June as well. So he wants to just keep that winning momentum going. I think the way that he played the Kyrgios match was really good. I mean, Kyrgios, he played superbly, but Rafa just always felt he was just that step ahead at times. Yeah, he drifted in and out. Team's going to have to hit him hard early. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it, but I'm tipping Nadal to win in 4.
Okay. But I agree with you. I mean, the way Rafa views this match, I totally agree that he views it as a big match. They talk about, you know, they ask the big three who the next ones will become, who they think would win a Grand Slam first. And in that category, all of them mentioned Dominic Thiem as one that they feel like will win a Grand Slam soon, at some point, but they think it'll happen soon.
Now, if he wins today, Nadal will guarantee #1 position. If he loses, Djokovic's got to win the title to replace Nadal as the new #1 next week. A bit of intrigue there. But the atmosphere building up nicely. If you're listening to us around the world, we hope you stay with us. It's going to be exciting, the matches we've got coming up. And then obviously we've got Federer and Djokovic tomorrow night. The matches keep on coming. Zverev will play the winner of this one on Friday night. We already know. It's all locked away. By the way, the schedule for semi-final Thursday for the women will be on air from 1:45 p.m. That's Melbourne time, so adjust your clocks accordingly. It'll be Ashley Barty and Sophia Kenin first up, and that'll be followed by Simona Halep and Garbine Muguruza. So that is the order of the matches coming up tomorrow.
Well, John Grebner has written in from California. Hi guys, checking in, losing sleep to hear you live. Cheers.
Great. California, be back there soon, Jill.
Yes, another from California, David Bruder. Hello from Tustin. My heart is with Rafa. 5-set will be thrilling entertainment. Better a 5-set Nadal victory. Cheers.
Okay.
Yeah. And April says last time they played on a hard court, Thiem bageled Nadal.
He did.
It was in the first set, and then lost the match, but she'd be a good one today. Vamos, Rafa.
Yep, Vamos Rafa indeed. Well, the clock is running down. So we have 36 seconds to play. Now this is going to be awkward because both players are sitting down. They'll both cop a time violation if they don't get a move on here. 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. Because that's the rule. If they both have run the clock down to 0.
I wonder what the rule is on
They
that.
both cop it. If they're both not ready, then they both get the violation.
They both get a violation.
So I think
they both get a warning?
Yeah, the warning. Yep, so that's 6-5. Rafa takes the towels out. 1 ball kid. And we'll throw it to the other ball kid. 1 and 0. We're standing at the line. Orally Tort's not even ready, but that's okay. Let's go.
First set.
It will be Rafael Nadal to get us going. The last of our singles quarterfinals.
Ready.
It's Nadal versus Thiem on AO Radio. A few spectators still finding their seats. It is pretty packed in here tonight.
Play.
Let's go. Nadal with the clock not even starting. Off he goes. The first serve down the tee. The backhanded Thiem. Short ball off forehand. Nadal is good. 15 love.
And Nadal way inside that baseline right away from the start. Wondering if that's going to be a strategy of his. He's normally pretty far behind the baseline, but looking to move inside right away.
Nadal will serve again from our commentary end. The serve down the tee is an ace.
30 love.
It's 30 love. Yeah, if you're wondering where our commentary position is, if you're listening on Rod Laver Arena tonight, we're at the end that Rafa is, just below the court. See some tinted glass if you look back where the lines people are. As the serve from Nadal goes into the net. Second serve. Serve coming in, Nadal running around to hit a backhand is Thiem. He followed the ball off forehand by Nadal, the Thiem forehand in the juice court. Now up the middle of the court, a cross-court forehand from Thiem onto the backhand of Nadal. They go back that way, dug out by Nadal, cross-court backhand, bang! Watch out! That's a huge backhand from Dominic Thiem.
30-15.
That was just a bullet coming off Thiem's racket. That was an incredible backhand cross-court. It's amazing. He just completely unleashes on that backhand. Such a huge finish over his shoulders.
148 kph that came back at. Whoa. 30-15. Statements being made in the opening game of the match. The serve goes into the net by Nadal. Second serve. Second serve now. Again, taking his time, Nadal, and the serve will go onto the off forehand. It sits up for Thiem. Now goes with the cross-court forehand onto the backhand of Thiem. In the ad court we go. Thiem again with the cross-court backhand. Nadal at the middle of the court this time. It opens up. Thiem switches, goes to the cross forehand. A slice backhand by Nadal. Big forehand at the line from Thiem, misses. Trying to open up the court. It's 40-15.
Thiem had so much time on that forehand, almost too much time to think. Didn't know which direction to take it. Went down the line. Just didn't quite have enough topspin to dip it back down into the court.
So 40-15. The serve coming in from Nadal. Going long. Quick glance at the umpire. Gets back into it. Game points. Opening game of the match here on AO Radio tonight. A second serve for Nadal. It's into the net. It's a double fault, and it's 40-30.
40-30.
Well, Thiem completely changing his court position to return that second serve. He's been standing pretty much on top of the baseline. That second serve went 3 or 4 feet behind the baseline, just giving Nadal a little bit of a different look.
Serve clock winds down to 9. 7, 6, 5. Nadal will release the ball. Serve out wide. Up the line goes Thiem with his backhand, but goes wide and long. Nadal holds. Opening game of the match.
It's good serving from Nadal
First game.
right away. Mixing it up. That lefty serve out wide. He can create such spin and really moves away from Dominic Thiem. Well, Betty has written in from Antwerp. After Goffin and Stan going out, rooting for Thiem. I hope 2020 will be his year. Go Thiem.
Interesting, the win predictor from the host broadcast television saying Rafael Nadal, 78% chance of winning. Thiem, 22%.
Wow, that's pretty high.
I think so too.
Yeah, I thought it would be a lot closer than that.
Probably factoring in 9-4 the head-to-head.
Still, though, I mean, 22% is pretty low, I think, for Thiem. I think that should be a little bit higher. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, I agree.
Dominic Thiem to serve.
So Thiem now from, again, our commentary end. Will just take his time, wind the serve clock to 10 and deliver his first serve. And this serve goes out wide onto the backhand on Nadal. Off forehand, Thiem is good. Nice 1-2 play. Moving forward into the court, it's 15-love.
Yeah, right after he hit that forehand, started sprinting forward to the net, looking to be aggressive. Didn't end up having to hit a volley. It was a clean winner from Thiem.
Thiem will prepare again. And the serve will take the net and go long. Second serve. The serve here onto the backhand of Nadal, off backhand. And a short ball from Thiem, and the off forehand is into the net from Nadal from the middle of the court.
30 love.
It's 30-love. Goes without saying that Thiem needs to serve well tonight. He's well aware of that. Everyone in the stadium's well aware of that. If you weren't aware of it, send us a note. The serve coming in from Thiem. And this is going to be played to the Rafa forehand, but it's gone big. Waits for another tennis ball to arrive. Interesting that, the player psychology, whether they have both balls at the same time or get one at a time. The serve onto the backhand. Up the line goes Nadal. Slice backhand by Thiem up that line. Nadal goes with an off forehand. Thiem is there with the forehand of his own cross court. He's working the middle of the court now, playing a backhand to the Nadal backhand, which is netted right in the centre, and it's 40-love.
It's good pressure there from Thiem. I feel like the players that have had success against Nadal are the ones that are able to flatten that backhand out down the line, take his forehand cross court early, be able to step up, and Thiem's capable of doing that. That's already 2 points that he's done that in this game and gotten an unforced error from Nadal.
The serve here on the forehand of Nadal. It's hooked wide. Thiem holds the love. It's 1 game all. You don't. Well, you probably dismiss the.
No, I know about taking either 1 ball or 2 balls, right? The psychology. I think it's just a personal preference.
What was yours?
I took 2 all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, there's the danger of if you take 2, because it's happened a few times where you get the first serve and then the other one falls out of your pocket and then it's a lead. But I don't know. I think it's just a personal preference.
Okay.
I don't think there's any sort of psychology,
the only thing
mental thing behind it.
The only thing I would say, and it has been sort of a, one of those minor topics that comes up from time to time, is the way that the players perspire, whether their pockets actually get wet. The serve here from Nadal goes into the net. And so if you've got the ball in there...
That could be true.
You sort of...
There's moisture on the... heavier, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
But again, each to their own, I suppose. A bit like Roger and don't sweat. The serve here. Now, Thiem chasing up the middle of the court. Off forehand by Nadal. Thiem go with the cross-court forehand. We're working the juice court here, folks. Forehand to backhand. The backhand of Nadal. Thiem with an even deeper forehand. Up the line goes Nadal with his backhand. Cross-court backhand from Thiem. Cross-court forehand from Nadal has angle. Thiem really goes for it. Nadal picks it up half volley style. Now he's in the juice court playing a backhand up the line. Big backhand in the middle of the court from Thiem. Dug out by Nadal, cross-court. Big cross-court forehand by Thiem. Slice forehand by Nadal. Big forehand again from Thiem. Backhand by Nadal is sharp. He's thinking about going the line. He goes now. Thiem is there. Backhand up that line. Nadal going the cross-court backhand. Trying to take it early. The forehand into the net by Thiem. Great rally. 25 shots and it's 15-love.
Yeah, just incredible ball striking. Both these guys, unbelievable rallying, good depth, good spin. Both of them mixing it up throughout that point. And Thiem just trying to unleash on that forehand down the line, that higher part of the net. Just got to get a little bit more height on it.
Yeah, well, both players really trying to take the ball early, although Thiem, interesting on that second serve, following the ball down the tee. He's getting a good read on it. Serve goes to 0, and the serve comes from Nadal. Out wide, the backhand from Thiem goes long over the baseline.
30 love.
And it's 30-love. Nine minutes up on the Rolex clock, and Nadal with 30-love, 1-all opening set. The serve comes in onto the forehand of Thiem. Nadal's over the cross-court forehand. Thiem unleashes a big backhand. Cross-court forehand, plenty of angle from Thiem. Matched by Nadal. Up the line, he goes to the forehand. Cross-court forehand by Thiem. Full stretch Nadal. This ball sits up. Thiem goes back up the line of the juice court, onto the cross-court backhand of Nadal. Thiem up the line for a winner. He'd had enough of that rally. And he crushed that ball up the line. It's 30-15.
That was unbelievable. I mean, I thought Thiem had already hit a winner 2 or 3 shots earlier with that forehand cross court, and it was just such good defense from Nadal, forcing Thiem to hit 1 or 2 more shots with that forehand down the line. Struck that so well, got a little bit more spin on that, a little bit heavier.
12 shots, but boy, it's scintillating stuff right now. Come on, boys, keep this level up. Serve down the tee is an ace. No, it's called fault. Thiem had started moving to the other side.
He was kind of taking a long look at that line to see if there was a ball mark, but a little bit of a late call.
Nadal not challenging. The serve out wide, taking a big cut at a cross-court backhand style is Thiem. He was so far back, he was almost in row 3. 40-15.
I just mishit that one just slightly. Thiem on that backhand cross, like way wide.
But he has so much time to wind up on it. We know that's why he's doing it. 40-15. Nadal waits, and he will deliver this serve down the tee, blocked back by Thiem. It sits up. Nadal goes cross-court point. Thiem up the line. He's missed it. He came forward, Nadal. He holds. 2-1. We're on serve in the opening set here on AO Radio. Let's go into some messages.
Ramon has written in from Madrid, Spain. A little competition now. Just wanted to thank you all for being there. It's my beginning of the year tradition to arrive at the office and listen to you guys while working. You help me to somehow imagine myself in those Melbourne courts. Big hug for you guys. Vamos, Rafa.
Hola.
Hugs back. John Grebner wrote back, great job. Commentating mates, go Rafa. Suresh from Bangalore, the kind of form Zverev is in, can he beat Nadal in the semifinals?
Yes.
Well, Nadal's got to get through to the semifinals
He's got to
first.
or beat any. I open up to either of these players.
Yeah,
My answer is yes.
Yes, I think he could too.
My
Yeah,
answer
he's been in great form. Yeah,
Yep.
and he's so tall. The way Nadal and Thiem hit with that heavier spin, Zverev has that height where he can. That ball normally on some other players is maybe going above their shoulders, but on Zverev it's more in the strike zone, and he's good at taking it early. He's good at taking those higher ones early. But it's going to be a battle. Yeah, I mean, but he definitely has the capability. Max from Wolfsburg, Germany. Vamos, Rafa, hoping for a thrilling 5-setter.
So are we.
Yeah.
By the way, so are we.
Behind the players, please.
All right, players getting ready out on course. The spectators still filing in. The late ones are here. Very few spare seats. Good crowds all the way through the fortnights. Set to continue with the final 4 days. Big semi-final coming your way on AO Radio. Meanwhile, it is Dominic Thiem who will serve and serves. Ball clipping the tape on the way through, looking to go wide. That ball. Ball came back to him actually, threw it to the ball kids. We'll reset for the second serve. Nadal way back. He's so far back he could almost high-five Jill. The serve again out wide. He's missed it. And a third serve coming up. First serve was a let. He's standing in a bit closer this time, Nadal, near the baseline. And he waits for this ball on his backhand and he goes too big. Looking to push across court. 15 love.
Or Nadal, no matter how far back he was trying to take that second serve early. He was pretty far inside the baseline on that one. He's good at being able to mix it up. It can really kind of surprise your opponent, get into your opponent's head on that serve if you're mixing up your return stance.
The serve coming in from Thiem onto the backhand of Nadal, a floating ball. Thiem goes with an off-point onto the Nadal forehand. That's cross-court. Big backing up the line by Thiem. Sliced by Nadal. Coming in his Thiem. Nice backhand volley. Oh, I like that from Thiem. He ghosted in. It's 30 love.
That's a good move. Off of that backhand down the line. He flattened up that backhand down the line. That one's skidding through the court, but no hesitation whatsoever. He saw how effective a shot it was. Took that next ball out of the air.
Yeah, he jumped into it too. So wait for the serve to come in, and it goes out wide. An ace. It's 40 love. First ace for the match. Game points for 2-all in the opening sets. Thiem will serve. And serve onto the forehand of Nadal. Goes cross court. Thiem goes with the backhand up the line. Cross court backhand from Nadal is deep. Dug out off the baseline by Thiem cross court. And the backhand cross back that way from Nadal into the net. 2 games all, opening sets.
It's a good pickup from Thiem on that baseline. Nadal actually hit it right into the corner, and Thiem got over there so fast, just kind of bunted it back, but hit right on the sideline, and Nadal just forcing that last backhand.
So just a hush over the crowd as Nadal gets himself going. He's got 15 seconds left on the serve clock. Goes through his usual routine. It has helped the serve clock in terms of speeding him up a bit. But 2 games all. The serve coming in from Nadal. And a bit of volley too. Looked to go down the tee, but he missed the serve. Okay, it's interesting. Let's
Already trying to throw in the serve volley.
Let's take a note of the S&V work going on here. The serve coming in. Nadal, he goes back the other way, out wide. Cross-court forehand from Thiem is good. Nadal's there with the backhand up the line. Cross-court backhand from Thiem netted. 15 love.
He's expecting a little bit of a deeper shot there from Nadal. Thiem just not getting up to that ball quickly enough. He caught it pretty low, so it's tough to really lift up on that ball.
So he prepares again. Nadal. Taking plenty of time, as per usual. Winds the serve clock to 3. The serve down the tee is just missing. Called by the umpire as well. He looked up for advice, got it. 1 finger in the air, out. Second serve. The serve coming in. Down the tee, onto the forehand of Thiem. Cross-court backhand from Nadal. Thiem goes back that way. We're in the juice court. Forehand to find out. Big forehand up the line from Thiem. Fractionally short by Nadal, and Thiem makes no mistake. It's 15 all.
That's good, and already in these first 4 games, Thiem has done a good job of anything that Nadal hits slightly short. He's attacking and trying to take that ball out of the center of the court, trying to get Nadal on the run.
So we wait for Nadal. Again, the serve clock runs to 1. The serve down the tee, backhand, blocked back by Thiem up the middle of the court. Cross-court forehand by Nadal, slice backhand from Thiem, a drifting ball. Nadal's there, didn't nail that one. He nails this one though, it's right near the baseline. He's just attacking the Thiem backhand, now attacking the Thiem forehand. Thiem plays a cross-court forehand. Now he goes up the line, full stretch Nadal, he can't get that back. Thiem's got that forehand up the line working, it's 15-30.
15-30. Yeah, there were a couple times throughout that point that Thiem actually tried to hit heavier down the center, pushing Nadal back behind that baseline and then stepping forward. He's hitting that inside-out forehand extremely well right now, Thiem.
And Thiem enjoyed that one. I like saying that. I like saying it. The serve here from Nadal onto the backhand of Thiem. Off forehand by Nadal. Thiem's not going to get that one. 1-2 play. Good hustle by Rafa. 30 all.
Rafa went through that forehand extremely well. It was a short reply from Thiem on the return, right on the service line. Nadal not as much height on that approach shot. Kept it low over the net, really tried to put a little bit more pace through the court on that one.
2009 champion Rafael Nadal will serve. And this one goes too big. Second serve. We wait, because he's got all the time in the world now. The second serve will be down the tee, but Thiem runs around and plays a forehand up the middle of the court. Nadal is there, but he mistimes it completely, looking to put up the line of the ad court and put it into the net instead. An early break point for Dominic Thiem.
And Nadal was trying to run around and hit that forehand like he normally does, trying to create as many opportunities to step on that forehand, but just got tangled a little bit on that last one.
We'll get to some of your messages in a moment. Nadal, break point. He's got to stare it down. The serve onto the forehanded Thiem. A short ball into the bottom of the net by the Austrian. And we're at juice.
That's a great serve from Nadal. Thiem, you sort of on a break point have to protect that out wide lefty serve just a little bit, because that's really a serve Nadal loves, and Nadal mixing that up, flattening that out down the tee.
Over 4 minutes for this game. 2-all in the opening sets. The serve coming in from Nadal, goes down the tee, missing again, wanting that ball just to swing away, and he came forward.
He's trying to serve and volley again.
Bit of S and V. Would be S and V. Anyway, you get the idea.
S what? S and V?
S and V, you know, like fish and chips. The second serve, running around chasing the point again, is Thiem up the middle of the court, but he goes long with the return, and it's game points. Now they shorten and to
Yeah,
like
I get
fish
it now.
and chips.
Yeah, I understand. S and I don't know.
Like S and V.
That's why I just say serve and volley.
Okay.
I don't even do the shortened version.
Okay. Just, throwing some new things into the mix, but some take longer to develop than others. The serve here from Nadal out wide onto the backhand of Thiem. He punched that, and now he's got to play a cross-court forehand. Nadal's got the line open, goes back that way, but Thiem, a great cross-court backhand. Cross-court forehand by Nadal, up the line by Thiem. The backhand goes big. Oh, he had that on his rackets. Right play, just couldn't execute. We continue on serve in the opening set. It is Nadal 3-2 here on AO Radio.
Well, Anton is written in from the south of France. Sunny, but only 9 Celsius. Well, at least it's sunny. That's good.
Yeah, take the positive out of this.
If Thiem and Zverev both win, are we really seeing the changing of the guard?
Say that again, if
Thiem and Zverev, well, Zverev won. So if Thiem and Zverev both win, Zverev won, are we really seeing the changing of the guard? Do you feel like that's too early to say that, or do you feel like it's time?
I think it's too early to say it, but possible.
Okay, it is possible, yes. Giulio from Turin, Italy, also listening from work. Thanks, guys. It really does feel like being there with you, hoping for a proper duke out. Go, Domi. Okay. There's a lot of people rooting for a team. A lot of people.
Yeah.
It's kind of 50-50, I think. Alexander from Frankfurt, Germany. Hey, thanks for the commentary. Great as always. My question: what's the story of Rafa and the color pink? I don't know either, but he does wear pink a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's probably gotten a lot of compliments on it. I think it looks good. He's just going with it. I think it looks good on him.
Yeah. Make it work for you. Make it work for you. We'll keep your messages coming throughout tonight. As Dominic Thiem will head to the line at 2-3 in the opening set, and Thiem will serve down the tee, missing. Second serve. The serve coming in, it goes out wide. Cross-court backhand by Nadal. Thiem is there, going back that way. Nadal goes up the line with the backhand, big backhand. Thiem getting back into court. As goes Curry across and play a forehand. He just blocks it back. Nadal goes up the middle of the court. Thiem at the Melbourne sign, playing backhands up the middle of the court. Now he's pulled out wide. He plays a beautiful cross-court backhand. He's going to get on the forehand. He plays that cross-court. Nadal just blocking it back now. It's a floating ball that goes long. Great pressure by Thiem.
Yeah, that is so good. Such good ball striking. Thiem gets so far behind the baseline to really set up for that backhand. He doesn't mind giving up that much court because he's so quick to get back in on top of that baseline, looking to be aggressive.
As Thiem will prepare again. The serve coming in. Serve to the forehand, cross-court by Nadal. Slice backhand by Thiem, cross-court. Nadal goes up the line with the forehand and makes no mistake. Gets it done nicely. 15-all.
That was an incredible forehand from